Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hollywood Experience. We're actually now at episode 10, right, David?
We are in the double digits now. I can't believe that we've already made it that far. That's actually really exciting.
10 episodes. I've done 600 on the other one.
So you're catching up to this one. You only have, 60 times more people to interview for all this?
Yeah, another 599, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's really exciting. And once again, thank you, everyone, for listening to all this and helping support it and everything, because this is honestly one of the most fun things I've ever been able to do in my time in Hollywood, is just hear all these really cool stories coming from all these people. And just to know some of the people that we have coming up. I don't know if you want to talk about them or if you want to keep it a secret, but there's some exciting people coming up as well for the podcast.
How long have you been in Hollywood now?
I moved out, by the time this is going to go live, it's just going to be short of 8 years. I moved out in October 2011, so 9 years. Holy cow. Never mind, 9 years.
Why'd you come to Hollywood?
I wanted to work in entertainment. I didn't want to be an actor, but I just wanted to be around it, and just, I come from a rural town in Illinois, and there's not a lot going in out there. I love the town that I came from, but it just felt like Hollywood was going to be a bit more exciting, more thrilling. And, my first few years out here it absolutely was. And it hasn't stopped in the, first almost decade since I've been out here.
All right. So you said in the first few years it wasn't, but I think there's something behind it that might be like, maybe it was.
I got to meet a lot of really cool people. Some people that I never thought I'd be able to meet. I got to meet some of the Avengers, but I moved out here and I got a job doing some stuff for Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and stuff like that. So some stuff that I had no idea about, but it was still opened the doors for a lot of really cool stuff. And then I eventually got to meet the Highlander.
Well, you sound like our guest today, Art Camacho, who said, I really had no idea about what I was doing on this. Mm-hmm. And then I just kind of fell into it.
Yeah, no, I watched a few interviews with him, but I'll let you guys listen to, Adrian's interview with him first. Who is Art Camacho, just for the people who might not be familiar?
Okay, so Art Camacho is a stunt. He started off as a stuntman, then he was into a stunt choreography, then he became a director. So he's done the gamut. He's gone from one end of the action genre to the other. I actually worked with him on Wild League about a year ago, and 2 years ago. I can't remember when. Anyway, but very nice man, and that's what I find with martial artists. They're very personable. A lot of martial artists. Some have they stick up their butt, but that's okay. But the majority of them I actually think are very respectful, and Art is one of them.
Cool, great. So let's get into listen to what Art had to say, and we will talk to you guys after that.
Okay, so today I got you guys a little surprise. I've got Art Camacho sitting in his very decked out room, sporting 2 British flags on his arms. Good job, love it, Art. In honor of me. You pulled that jacket out specifically for me, didn't you?
I did. I'm doing a show with Adrian Paul. What do I wear?
That would be a really weird choice, that actually. What do I wear when I talk to Adrian Paul? Clothes would be good. That would be the start.
Well, I only got the tops. I didn't know.
So, Art, how have you been? What have you been up to? I mean, this pandemic has changed a lot of things, but what have you been up to?
I've been very blessed, Adrian. It started out, I was ready to do a film in February, March. Pandemic hit, everything dried up. It took me a while to get, used to the physicality and emotionally the whole experience. And then finally, when I got used to it, all of a sudden I started getting calls again saying, hey, we want to do some work. We want to do some projects. And I was telling you just before we got on is that I can't tell you much about the project, but I actually got this TV show, and I did something that's totally out of my wheelhouse that I've never done, and it's what you're doing right now. It was kind of hosting this show for a network, and it was just an amazing experience. I was a white belt. I have no idea what I was doing, but we did it, and we're in post right now. So
awesome!
I tell you, man, it was amazing. But I wanted to do it Art Camacho style. It has to have action. So
See, you started in action, didn't you? You started as a stunt choreographer, performer, right?
Right, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your path from stunts to actor, director, etc.
I started out many years ago with the film doing stunts with actually Eric Lee, my Sifu. He called me out of the blue. We've been training a lot of years, traveling with him. And he says, "Hey, Art, you want to get your butt kicked for $50? Cool, let's do it." And that was it. I went and did it. And just briefly, that experience was so amazing because as a kid, I've never done anything like that before. But as a kid, I had a natural knack for it. But what happened in that one film, and the reason I'm telling you this is because that's what got me several other films, is that I was doing a scene with this guy, two guys attacking one guy. So he kicks me in the chest. Take one, right here. I go flying back because he was a kickboxer, so he kicked pretty hard. So he kicked me. I go flying back on cement. Take two, right here. Boom. Kicks full on kick. I go flying back. Hurt a little bit, but I thought, yeah, come on, you're Camacho. You can take it. You're a man. Take three. By this time, I already had the timing down, so I'm running into the kick. He kicks me, but he kicked me solid in the throat.
Oh.
So literally, I'm telling you, Adrian, my body, because I was so loose, I already knew. So I kicked my feet up, simultaneously, and I go flying back. I mean, it must have been 3-4 feet, just flying back. Landed hard in the cement. Just like everything else, you wait till you hear cut, because I'm supposed to be knocked out in the scene. And I'm closing my eyes there, and in my head, I thought, maybe I screwed up this kick. Maybe it came too close. It's my fault. I was blaming myself all as I'm lying on the cement with my eyes closed. But it seemed like forever. I didn't hear cut. All of a sudden, I opened my eyes, and people are standing, looking around. They saw me get kicked in the throat, go down. They thought I was dead or something. I swear. I thought I was fired. They thought I was dead. And I'm apologizing to the guy for kicking me in the throat, Hey, I'm sorry, my timing. No, it's okay. And then I heard one of the producers say, hey, you know what, let's bring that Mexican guy back. He can take the pain, doesn't complain, and works cheap.
Can take the pain, doesn't complain. There's a poet in there and you didn't know it. Yeah, I know. There it went. So, I mean, I've actually been in those situations before. I had one of my stunt guys at one point take a car hit and his pads caught the front fender. So instead of jumping and hitting the actual windshield and rolled back over the top of the car, it flipped him and he hit the roof of the car and came off the back of the car and landed, I mean, literally so hard on the ground, and everybody just held their breath for that moment. It was the same type of thing. And then suddenly he got up and goes, okay, that was fine. We're like, are you okay? Like, you fine? You're like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm fine. But I mean, you've done so what happened after that? Tell me what happened in your process after that, your progress.
The process is I started getting hired for these action actor parts. They didn't call them that, but stunt actors who could say a few lines. And then I got a lead in a couple small films. And then because prior to all this stuff, I had already been like at my late teens, early 20s, been directing Spanish commercials. So I kind of had an eye for the camera. And so, and then I love choreography. Bruce Lee's my biggest influence on the planet. And so out of the blue, I worked with one film, with one producer director who said, hey, Art, you know what, do you want to choreograph some of my movies? And I said, I'm not a choreographer. I'm just a stunt guy who takes hits. And he goes, look, Art, we really think you have the talent and we'd love to give you a shot. So that started the whole thing. This was, again, 2 years after I started doing stunts. And that went on like 40 films later. Same producers came up to me and they said, they are, you know what, we're doing a lot of action films. Have you ever thought about directing? And 1 year, two producers asked me. Same thing. My response was like, oh man, I've directed commercials, directing a film. They go, no, look, they're all action films. So it's not gonna be much of a stretch. First film I did, we had a budget of like $650,000, which was good at that time. And they grossed about $2 million. So that cemented me with that.
That cemented you immediately. Like if it's profitable, absolutely, yeah.
Yes, and I'm telling you, man. But the thing is, not to get too weird on you, but I feel that God was propelling me every step of the way because I didn't go out looking for it; it came looking for me. Because then shortly after that, I directed several features. They were very successful, family films, action films. And then out of the blue, I get this producer, not the producer, a guy with a friend of mine who says, hey, I got this guy that's got a lot of money. He wants to do movies. Do you know any producers? Okay.
Here's my hat.
Yeah. And that's what happened. But in that same film, and I got to tell you this because it was a cash film. Literally, it was cash. I mean, this guy's had tons of cash. I didn't ask questions. I just knew.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah, anyway, go on. I've seen cash films before.
Yeah. And so I hired a writer friend of mine who happened to be an alcoholic. So 3 weeks into it, he hadn't written anything. And these guys don't go to lawyers. So I was panicking.
They don't go to lawyers.
Oh my God. I was thinking of, having visions of having a dead horse's, head in my bed. And so literally I got on my computer, started, once upon a time, he walks here, taught myself how to write. I had no choice. So I wrote the script, and I would take it to a writer friend of mine, and he would tell me, this is crap, this is shit, but this is good. Go back. Go again. Here, what do you think? This is crap. Not bad. So I go back again. So finally, we did that film. It's called Final Payback with Richard Grieco, Corbin Burnson, and Martin Coe. And again, thankfully, it made money for the investors. Thank God. That's why I'm still alive. I'm still here. And that's what happened. I mean, everything from stunts to acting to directing, producing, writing. And that's been the journey, That's been the journey, just necessity and being put in these circumstances, and you either sink or swim.
Yeah. Actually, I see Marty Cover's just gotten the Cobra Kai out there. I was actually just talking to him about possibly coming onto the show, but we'll see if he does. You work with a bunch of people I know. I think over the years you've done a variety of things, and we've kind of crossed paths in a way. But I first was the Russian movie we did, Wild League, together, which was a wild ride in both directions. But we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that part in a minute. But so tell me after that. So what do you think is the essence of because you've been behind the camera, literally in front of the camera as a stunt professional, as a stunt choreographer. What's the difference for a stunt choreographer compared to a stunt professional? What do they have to do, and what do they have to create to put a good fight on?
I think everything, to me, it's all story driven and character driven. Because the first things I do when I look at a fight, I don't look at this would be cool, this would be cool. I look at that afterwards. But I think the cake, the meat of it, is what's the story I'm telling, and how much. And then the technical aspects are how much time do I have to tell the story? What are my resources around it? So all those things go into it before I throw the first punch.